When there's pictures on my walls and I don't know where to go, they found me. They found me. And even though that I've been here before, not twice, but more, they found me. And all of my thoughts, they're falling apart again. And I don't know why you put me through the ringer again. You say you are tired, but you're made from things that keep on going no matter what. Systematically you're falling lost in your thoughts, when all the words meaning more than now. When will I say I will be proud? When will I say we'll do it now? I don't have to think about it right this second. 'Cause even though it seems all lost, I'll finally find something that means most. Everything that I knew that I would see later on. I saw a new trailer for the Vincent Staples show. I never watched it before, but I suck up season 1 and it was kinda weird though. And I'm like, ooh, 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 I wanna get up now. So maybe later I'm gonna do my portfolio class. Maybe then later I will have to drive away and go somewhere else, and that's that. But more than what I know is I need to eat some food before I go on the go. So this is a whole riff. This is me getting up. I sometimes go sporadically in music tunes, and I know it won't be enough, but I gotta keep on going, cause sometimes it's the best. Wondering when I'm gonna get up just tastes better because it's made right, not just with Tillamook, but something more than just processed food that goes to waste. 'Cause only just for you, things are how they used to be. Talking about jungle gyms, painted quilts, Cheerios and chocolate milk. Can I speak softly just to you? Things are how they used to be. Talking about jungle gyms, painted quilts, Cheerios and chocolate milk. Oh, 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 oh. We're not all pop stars trying to sing our hearts to millions so far. It's just something that is right in my Filipino bloodlines and in my eyes. I can't describe, but just a sporadic feeling all the time that I need to be more present in my own life. Cringe but out. Edited in, mic drop. Even though this was my mic, I don't know. Okay, no, it's a better transition if I went this way, because then I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, okay. Yeah. This might be voiceover. I don't know. If it's not voiceover, I have like some space and room to voiceover stuff. But what I wanted to say, honestly, is that I feel like I'm starting to stop a habit. I have a personal habit in mind that I want to see it through for even beyond this month, because I want to be like 30 days, but I don't want to think about the 30 days. I just want to just endure in this feeling right now that I'm feeling right now. Like, what is that feeling? Well, it's not a bad feeling, first off. I always have to disclose that. I'm like, this is not a depressing feeling. Yesterday was actually the most, what I felt like, locked in, productive I've ever been in my life for this last month and now this month. In my life. I feel like the span of someone's lifetime is just based off the perceptions of right now. Because a lot of times I hear people say like, man, I don't even remember like how COVID was like, or like I'm still in the COVID mind. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean you not to mean that? Anyways, the thing that I wanted to talk about is this revitalized energy feeling that I'm having, like, just throughout my body. That it's like, wow, lock in, great. I think still have the residuals from yesterday. I'm just like, yeah, that's great. But notably, I didn't wake up early in the morning. I woke up roughly around like 7-ish, just to like get back sleep, and I think that's what my body's gonna normally do. And I think there's so many things that can really get you to do something that you don't want to do in this day and age. I feel like the last 3 episodes kind of just went like, man, the social dilemma. you know, it's making me think. Not change directions in any way, but just like expanding on it more. And how I could see later on in videos that I could be feeling more depressive, or appear more depressive, or appear more happy, or near more happy. But it's like, I think I found like a fine line. Especially, okay, at this point, I have not posted episode 8 or 9, or this one right now, so. But I'll keep it brief. There's something about doing work. Not just work for yourself, but just working on something that activates your brain in some capacity. And if you just doom scroll, or watch a YouTube video, or find your dopamine anywhere else, it feels less taxing on yourself to think about that work is something that you always should go for in life. Even work can be simple, like working on yourself, right? It's like, it doesn't have to be impactful to anyone else. It just has to be because you're almost, in a way, trying to help your future self in some capacity.
I do believe. Oh my gosh!
And honestly,
holy moly, I got jump scared. Oh my gosh!
After the fact,
I didn't even. Okay.
And this is by no
Dude,
means
that's a
me
crazy
trying to
car.
avoid
That's
doing
a-
a post again, nor the
Crazy,
coincidence that,
crazy
you know,
car.
on the first
Holy
week
mo-
and then
that
I
was a
stopped
jump
posting
scare on my
again.
leg.
No, it's very
I just got out
environmental
of a parking spot and
circumstantial.
I just like
Why
turned on
I
my
did
camera
not
and then I
post.
even looked both ways. And then just out
Whether
of
if it
nowhere
was
there was
a
just
longer
a
video,
car.
like I explained it, and it's
It was peeking out. It's like, hello. It's like,
kind of funny.
Look on the
I kind
side
of find
here.
it funny
I'm like,
every time.
What? Now you weren't there before.
With that.
Literally, you weren't
But-
there before. I digress. Okay.
I definitely want
That would have been a crazy clip to that. That would have been like a. But also,
to believe
yeah,
in
we go.
things that I say.
Responsible driving. Anyhow.
I know there's a video
one of the
there's
spend
a
days
part
that I'm
that
like,
is like you
I don't
don't
even
have
believe
to talk
in what I
about
say
everything
or do.
that
Or
you
not
see
that, but like I
or
don't
encounter or do
go
or even have
for
to
the
record
actions
it.
that I
Sometimes
do,
when you just have a conversation,
even when I
it
say
can
them
be crazy
afterwards.
just to
Like my
talk by
food for thought is
yourself.
this and this.
That's a normal
And I think
thing.
now,
And
what
while on my
those
walk,
recaps are
consuming
like,
food, and also this really cool
they are
drink.
just
I've never seen
supposed
this drink
to
before. Yeah, I'm
support
collecting all the
the
Arizona
energy
drinks,
that it can
black and
in the
white.
morning.
Slowly but surely, I'll just make a
Like,
whole
if I say, like,
episode,
you
and
can do
each
this,
day
go
I'm
on,
just gonna like
and I
represent
still
each
have that
time I
residual
get a
energy
drink,
in me.
and I'm like, oh,
Then I can get up in the
yeah,
morning
sure.
and feel
This
like
drink
better
was
about
the best.
myself. And I think
I've
that's
never
what
had the black and
feels
white,
weirdly
whatever
enough
that is,
right now with
Anyhow,
me trying to turn in my VFX,
one
but it's
thing
crashed so many times so I can't
I
do
wanted
my
to
like
talk
final
about
thing
was
out.
I went
And having
to,
that mindset in general, it's like, why did you not just like post
I forgot.
like your previous one?
Just kidding.
And
It's
then
not
I'm
like every time I say I forget,
because
it's
it was
more or less
unfinished.
I just forget the name of it. Like I'm passing
and
Red
I hate
Robin,
I have
I know
that
the
ego
restaurant,
in
I know
myself.
everything, but then I'm like I don't
that I'm like,
remember the name.
it
I'm like,
needs to
oh.
be finished.
Is it that early
But
in the morning? Like I don't think
it
it's
will
that
be
early.
done
Oh wait, I don't have to forget it
soon
because I have the receipt for it
Hopefully not.
somewhere.
I'll do
in
it
my
for the
pocket.
weekend. But it's
Okay, I'm
one
gonna
of
guess
those
what it
things
is.
where
Is it Whole Foods? Did I go to Whole Foods?
I think I was thinking to myself last night.
Safeway. I went to Safeway.
I thought on my
Whole
computer
Foods is
as
not
my
where,
printer.
nowhere near here. Okay, I
My
went to
printer,
Safeway.
not my printer, my
Whole
paper
Foods, I go to
shredder.
Whole Foods, I
And
went
that
to
if you
Safeway.
fill the paper shredder too much
was
with paper,
standing
it
in
either
line,
jams and stuff or it's
honestly, in the
overheating.
morning, I was like, do
So
I
I'm
want to
like,
drink
I said
from
to myself, man,
Panera?
okay,
Panera
let me just
has
let my
cold
computer cool
drinks
down.
and
That was my
caffeine
mindset,
drinks.
and then
And it's
go to
cold
bed.
today, so and I felt like in my veins like a little.
And sure,
bit of, like,
I
it's not
scrolled
nerve
through social
anxiety,
media,
just,
but
like,
I'm gonna be
too much,
like,
and, if I drink coffee,
my body felt more exhausted.
It's gonna overwhelm me in some capacity. So I'm like, no.
Then just scroll
And I'm like,
so
I don't even want the McDonald's
That
like
was
cold drink
nice.
either. It's like,
I'm like,
I just get no drink.
I even felt that
And
when I
then
was
I get my
working
Panera
out,
because
working out,
Panera,
so keep walking,
and
talking.
I feel like Panera,
with kids,
honestly,
I think you have to have that level of if you
best
want to.
place. I've never been to Panera
doom
this much
scrolling,
in my life.
You gotta tire yourself
Then
out
the last month
before you go to
and this
sleep.
month.
On something
it
that
has become
you are doing,
a natural.
and then that way you don't have the energy left.
I was gonna
for
say
you to do
residual.
it. I feel like a lot of times people say, "Hey,
ritual.
you have to like not look at social
Residual?
media and like 30
Ritual?
minutes, or like have like some screen time."
And I was joking
30
about the
minutes
idea.
before. No, I think it's just
that
you just tire yourself
after
out.
when I got in the car,
Not like burn
the
out,
idea this is like the
but just
second.
like work enough mentally so that way, like when you
This is
do
like
look at your
part
phone,
2
you're like,
of the
I
NPC
hate
episode
looking at
that I'm
this.
doing. And
then I'm
because,
like, okay,
you know
that's
why?
kinda great.
Because
Cool.
I'm charging my watch,
anyways.
right? I get in my car. I don't even turn on my car, but I unlock my car. So I'm in the thought process of, oh, I probably turned on my car. And I put it in the charger, and then I hook up my watch to the charger.
I have
and it wasn't
also
charging.
notably
And I was so confused.
smartwatch
And I was like,
not charged. Okay, my watch is not charged.
why is it not turning on?
Hey Google, what time is it?
Like, is the battery fried or something on my watch?
It said
Like,
it's
I can't use it
10:03,
anymore, like
so
my
I have like
mouse.
2 hours. So
I
I'm
think I
gonna
have to
probably
buy my own
just
mouse. No, buy a new watch or something.
prep my stuff.
But then I
I'm gonna-
realized I have my
Wah, wah,
keys
wah.
next to my
You will see.
watch. And I'm like,
I feel like
wait
I
a
don't have to
minute.
disclose, I don't have to disclose everything.
It's
It's just
not even
a
plugged
lot.
in. My keys.
But yeah.
And I'm like, I'm NPCing right now. It's not that I am getting any form of dementia whatsoever. I think it's very normal for people to literally just forget about something. And here's the segue to my point. So I was getting my drink, my black and white drink for Arizona tea, and I was like, okay, that was.
And I'll
enough.
probably
And then
edit my
there is the
videos
self-checkout
today,
line. So self-checkout line
but I
for
also
Safeway
have to do some
is
homework
a
assignments
lot
as
on a
well.
Friday, I'm guessing, because there's a lot of people.
So I won't work on my
around
VFX.
this
I'll
time,
probably do like
which
a
is
layout of what I've learned
whatever
from my
time it is
VFX
now.
for my final. Make notes.
Oh, it's
Onto my instructor, like, hey,
11:20.
I followed with
That's
these
why I can
issues
guess
and
late.
whatnot.
And there's just so
Then-
many people asking so many questions on how to do the self-checkout thing. And it's like, have you guys not been
I'm
in a
gonna
Safeway before?
do
And
my
the
homework
line
assignments.
was like
Those are some
also like
things to do
piling up. So then
today,
maybe ask me like,
and
oh, are
like
you
the
sitting
midterm
in line
evaluation,
because
so I
was
gotta
getting
do
like
my
a wall?
announcement to my
Because
team.
it's kind of weird how
my,
the line
projects team.
formed initially. But I
to make
think
sure
I
they're
should
on
have told
that
her
and
to like
reply with an
go
emoji if you've done
to
it.
the other side of the line, so it's more straighter. But now it was like a curve before, so there could be potentially be
And I'll
two
add you if
secret
you have not done
lines
it.
that happen.
And then
But either way,
edit. Probably work on the descriptions.
with that in mind,
I spent a day.
I was just like getting my drink and just hearing a lot of people
I could
questioning
imagine
how to do the stuff up, check out.
Later on,
oh,
things
like
get
my
copyrighted
payment thing is
because
not
I
working.
don't
Like,
know.
how do I like do the other thing?
That's
like,
fine.
Oh, this apple doesn't have a sticker on it. Do you know
Honestly,
what the code
no.
of this is?
Honestly,
no.
My blood type is. I'm kidding. No.
Are you sure this is a cashback payback?
Is that
And you
whenever I
people-
do my edits on my videos,
which is not on Safeway.
and when I publish
or
it,
like the people's like knowledge of it. It's just like
if
it's
it
one of those
takes
days
a lot of my
where it's like, oh,
storage
okay,
on my
wait.
computer, I delete
Hang on a second,
all
I
the
think our
footage.
machine's broken or something.
I think that's like my
Oh, okay.
little,
Let's go fix
not
it.
representation, but my little routine of me
But I
when it
felt
comes
like,
to just
wow,
these videos is that
I'm in a small,
if the videos
not
get taken
calm
down on that
it's
day,
like a small bubble of like people
that's an art form
going
in
about their
itself.
day. And yeah, some people are like,
I'm a
you know, it's just a
Banksy
Friday,
of
kind of what's
myself.
all about. And I'm just like existing like,
No,
oh, okay, yeah, that's great.
it was being
And then you
to me
leave the Safeway and you're like, oh, and everyone
And
else is doing their
whether or not they get used or
cars
not
parked.
used.
There are
I made it
people
my
going
whole
to
point. I made it my
grocery shop,
pillar to be like, I just want
the Alpha Bazaar. I don't think that's. I don't know.
showcase
I'm not culturally right.
in a way that I mean genuine.
That
in a
wasn't
way
supposed to be
that
quirky.
I
I'm
can
just
set
like,
up my own
my
privacy,
brain is just like,
life,
I remember Alpha
some
Bazaar.
respect,
I don't know what culture
to
Alpha
some
Bazaar
capacity.
is. I'm guessing Indian because that's my
And to,
default. It's like saying
uh,
Asian. What is the first
be
Asian
authentic.
culture do
in a
you
way.
think of? I don't even think of
This is
Filipino.
nothing
I think
new.
of
This
like
is just a vlog
Chinese
format, but in a
or
way where I'm like, I'm
Japanese.
getting inspiration from.
Filipino is
Again,
like the fifth thing.
I'm like every time I have to iterate it, so I don't forget.
Pacific
Master
Islander.
of
I
None.
don't know.
Now,
If I had to like think about it like
the
specifically
Vincent
that way.
Staples show, and I'm like, I've never seen this before.
I think each day
And
you
the
just
season 2
gotta
one came out today. I'm like, oh,
have
like
mental
trailer. And I'm like, oh,
gymnastics
okay.
with
like,
yourself
oh. And I'm like,
to
what's season
recall
1? And I'm
things.
like, okay. And it feels like at the
I think
end
even
of
at a
each episode,
younger
I have not
age,
watched it.
you just
Is
have
that
that too.
I saw the bank robbery
I think
scene
sometimes
on YouTube. It
you
was
could
a
wonder
scene
that
that someone
if
took.
you had the ability
And it's like,
to remember
hey, get to know this guy.
everything
Like, do you
in
know who
life,
this guy is? It's like,
would you want that?
with your magic,
That you experience it,
with your magic,
That's kinda crazy.
with your magic.
Even, like,
Come
the
on, guys, you
sensations.
know who he is. And it's like,
And then that's kind of weird.
and then
So
in
it's like
new
almost
season
like
2 when I
phantom
went back,
sentencing.
and at the
Like
end of
VR
that
chat.
episode, it was a guy taking a
I
selfie
don't-
with Vince
I don't
Staples,
do
and he's
VR
like,
chat.
so when
Right, I
season
like
2 gonna
watching
come
VR
out,
chat.
it's very
But I don't think
meta
in my own
and
life
it's
I would ever do
commentary that
VR
way,
chat.
and I'm sort of like, wow,
Is that a weird thing?
that's cool.
I've not had an
Interesting.
Oculus, but my roommate used to had an Oculus, and we had like the
I'm gonna
Beat
stop this,
Saber
in case I
and like the
put
drum
this in
music
the background.
playing.
So yeah, do you have time? I'm eating this. This is, by far, a really good sandwich. A really good. Their sandwiches are good. This is the Smokehouse barbecue chicken sandwich, and I'm like, whoa! But then it's not going down. So let's do. I'm just saying, let's do a test right now. Why not? The tab is hard, dude. There was also heft. Like when I carried this, I'm like, ooh. So hopefully no phlegmy phlegm. Can you hear it? Okay, I felt the reverb. Or I felt the ooh. Long. Ooh. 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 Whoa. Like this, okay, I'm not trying to over exaggerate. Like this is my first time having this. I'm like, maybe it's a placebo effect as well. There's the yin yang symbol. I imagine when I drink this, here's what I drink. The liquid is heavy, actually like tea. If you drink like a tea of some sort, like an Asian tea, I feel like it's just that you have like a heaviness, like, And I think it's from the honey aspect of it. Because it's ginseng and honey. So I'm like, ooh, it's very honey-ish. But then when it goes down your throat, it's sort of like, it's like a ball. It's like a fireball. I've never had fireball. But it's like some aura or energy, like, of that honey, like, in a good way. It's not like a phlegmy way, but it's like, ooh, and it goes down, ooh. Then you're like, whoa. Moving around feels heavy too, so I'm like, I don't know. And it's also cold. It's refreshingly cold. Refreshingly cold as in like, it's like a mute cold. It's like room temp cold. Like, it's good enough that it's not like freezing. Like, the outside exterior of this is cold. Very cold. But inside is insulated. But cold a little bit, which is nice. This feels like really good, like, I feel like this is what water should be like. I feel like it should be like that. This has to be like probably my favorite. Like, if you don't like a sweet tea drink, this is very mute. I think that's what I'm trying to like get at. It's very like, oh, it's not like sparkling water, right? It's like Icelandic water. Or it's like you get that fancy bottle with like the iceberg on top, and then you drink out of it and you're like, ooh, I like the grooves of this bottle, but do I like the water? Yeah. And I think it's very placebo effect. Yeah, no, this is a solid like 10 out of 10. I would get this again. But I think if I keep getting it, then there's obviously that impact of like, oh, maybe I get bored of it. I want a different drink. But that's like the only like outlier. So it would be like a 9.5 if I had to be very strict about it. Otherwise, this is nice. Wow. And initially I was like, because I was just eating the food and I didn't have any liquid to like push it down. So, like, okay, that's it.
Okay. KO. It's time to go home. You're like, what? Okay. What did I do? Well, I went to portfolio class, and after portfolio class, I'm gonna get gas because I'm low on gas. I'm gonna go car. I'm sorry. And then there's so many students. So many. Walking out. Doing things. Goodbye!
Bye-bye.
That was it with Abnel. Goodbye. That's real. I'm glad I recorded. I'm gonna get gas and I'm gonna go to my parents' place because they need me to drive them to the airport early tomorrow. So, and I don't want to stay here and then expect myself that I'm going to get out of bed and do it. No, sorry. No. That was a crazy drive through. What did I do specifically in portfolio class? Well, at first, he went over the rubric of how the grading might be like when it came to our formula or roadmap, personal roadmaps that we are going to spend for the next month to do for November. So a month and a half, counting this month as well, to start on stuff. And notably that our ArtStation Pro accounts will come around in 3 weeks. It's been shipped out, so that's cool. And he wants to have something when it comes to preserving people's portfolios that landed them a job, a way to do that. And our incentive is that he's gonna put our names in a raffle and the winner gets his Schwer jar. That's enough said. After that, he pulled up a TED Talk video of how to actively listen. That was cool. We got a new TA, an art TA. That's an MFA, so that's cool. A Masters of Fine Arts in Animation. Then we did peer reviews over our rough roadmap of what we're going to do. Specifically with our partners that we worked with for the first presentation, which I just talked with Alice. And this is not this is the wrong way. Okay, no, we can reroute. No, I'm ranting. Anyhow, yeah, I talked with Alice, and her plan is this. She's gonna do a case study that she did for her her internship at Chronicler, because it seems like UI people do these things. I might get it wrong, I'm sorry. Is they do case studies, which is just dissecting the idea of like how UI was made this way, any references and how it would affect other people when they use it this way, how stylistic or simplistic something needs to go, the trial and error, so on and so forth. It's just like documentation. The second thing is, or like the player experience. And the second thing is like truly like font, typography, like creating UI for games. And then the third thing, I honestly forgot. She said something along the lines of it being implemented possibly in film or in games, just that process or workflow of like tools like Fabs and whatnot and curating stuff. Yeah, so that's our first one. And then the second one, she is going, this is the right way, yeah. And then the second one, she is going to make a YouTube video tutorial in how she made her master parameter in Unreal with the game project she's working on right now. But that's only if she can finish her thing. For my thing, my biggest Project A thing for the class would be the Gambit exploding cards. That would be cool. Awesome. And my second thing is the 1,000 Shattered Daggers from Scissor 7. And I can't wait for season 2. That's gonna be awesome. And for both of them, I can simplify it as I need to make it parameterable, so when it is in Unreal, someone can adjust the features, and that's like great. The second thing would be that it seems game ready and not still in the work in progress, or like this was done at a college or like a high school, like this was just an assignment. And then my third thing, I meshed with number 2, but I'll make up a third thing, is that there is clear documentation on it, and it's not ranty documentation where it needs to be there. I want to have my documentation cover everything that I use, not just the fact that I use Houdini software, but like plugins, what type of plugins I need to do, because I think that is an integral part of my learning process right now when it comes to Houdini to Unreal, is that you need plugins to facilitate your thing, and also documenting what type of version you have, because sometimes a version seems outdated and you need to like work on something else, so on and so forth. And also my computer be bad, but we don't want to excuse the computer. It's all about that. And then we had a conversation in general that was cool. Well, what was that look? For sure. Then we had a conversation after, because we were pretty much done. Mine was the shortest, hers was the longest. It was just like already all there. I'm gonna plan to finalize it over the weekend, because I would have more time to just think about the stuff and also gather the feedback that I got from it. And essentially what we talked about is we landed on talking about people that we've worked with, like like lighting class, because she took lighting class last semester, and then I took lighting class this semester, and it's in person, and she had hers online. And talking about the questions of like, oh, there was a question that talked about how many books have you read, and your thing that you learned from last week. And then she went on about, because I introduced the question and topic, because that's cool, on about her books that she's read. She's reading a book right now called, I'm gonna paraphrase it, the title. I forgot what the title is. It was long. If the World Didn't Have Cats. And it's a fiction book. Not to spoil it, it is a book about this guy and this otherworldly being granting him some form of wishes for his life to get better, or some demon contract thing. So for example, I'm just gonna give an example out of context from the story. So if I was the guy and I was like, man, I want to stop eating less desserts, then the demon would be like, cool, all the desserts in the world would not exist anymore, and for everyone else in the world it would affect them, but they would not be aware of the condition that just changed. So like if it was all normal, so like the next day it would be like, or even the day right now after he snapped his fingers, everyone's gonna be like, oh, what's a dessert? And it's like, oh no, I just have a snack. Like, ah. But I think the price is that he gets to live. So for every time, he's not like near death or something, but like every time he almost dies, like he can pay the price to get rid of something in his life, but it will also affect other people without them being aware of it. Then the other book, she hasn't read it, but it's like When the Dead Arises or something, and there was like a bunny with like floral font and stuff, and she gets her books at Barnes and Nobles. And also we talked about our futures in general, this idea of like, oh, after college, what are you gonna do? Or she asked the question like, oh, do you have a company specific that you want to go to? And I'm like, no. And I can go on about that. But hers is like, if UI doesn't work out, or if she knows she can land a job in a year. I also believe she can land a job. That's really great. And then she's gonna be like a personal instructor, which that's kind of cool, because that's what she does in general, or like does some form of it. And then continue working on her UI stuff. And I think that's it. Yes. And then she also asked about like Houdini stuff, which I'm like, oh my gosh, I can tell you how to do that. Get the plugins and whatnot, so that's great. Also, Bryce was there. I talked to Bryce. I talked to Bryce. Dylan was there. He was great. And yeah. I think it's more so, I never had a vision to begin with when it came to the type of company I want to go for in my career. Because at first, I didn't know what I wanted to do specifically in my career. At face value, if you didn't know me. If you did know me, I was more or less on the idea or on the track of, man, architecture is really cool. Just designing stuff, making stuff like functional, that's awesome. That's great. But when it came to the shift over COVID with the art stuff, I'm like, I want to do art. But even at that time, I didn't fully know what I wanted to do. I think the most obtainable things during that time was me showcasing to my parents, I'm like, yes, I like art. Because their biggest thing was like, we didn't know you liked art. You never showed us you liked art. And I'm like, great. Let me prove it. So I did animations. That's why I did my daily animations. Just feel like the pressure of like showing up to my parents that I can do this. Arts, drawing concepts, dedicated half my life, not half my life, half my century, no, half my year at least to like do stuff for my Instagram art-wise, which I'm not postponing. It's even with these videos, it's almost like accountability. Like I do other things in my life. It's not just art, so that's great. But now with DigiPen, I think the shift in that's a lie. The shift in DigiPen happened when I took my second semester of projects class, when I worked on a little project called One Last Step. And I was the engine artist, if you will, the technical artist. And mainly I would just do blueprinting and making sure like the back end things worked. And the visual aspect came from the other artists that worked on my team. And that was cool. And we went into the Rookies, which from what I recall is a art station led thing, which can give creators the ability to showcase their work and do challenges. And it's a great way to network and put on your resume and portfolio of like winning awards and whatnot. Essentially, me and Brian did a lot of the documentation work to make that happen. And even after effect or during the time when we had to meet with instructors, I met Matt Brenner. And he, during the time, I think he was like doing Houdini stuff, or was not as familiar with it than how he is like right now with like Houdini stuff. I could be just like riffing off, but I remember he's like, you should take my Houdini class, or you would be a really good technical artist. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So yeah, during that time, even in between, like I was like, I even had an art station, and it was set up in a way where I'm like, I'm a digital artist, and the things that I really enjoy are concepting, visual development, animation, etc., etc. And I feel like DigiPen boggles down on the idea of, wait, I finished getting my gas. Okay, what I was saying, I think DigiPen boggles down on the idea that, man, you're not gonna get a job if you're not a really, 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 really good concept artist, which I want to admit. If you're really into something, if you're really, really into something, go do it. Don't let the industry boggle you down on the idea you can't do it. I feel like social media is not talked enough in a light where you can socially get other people to network with you, right? It is a daring thing. It is like flipping a coin, it feels like, to grab attention with people. But I will say it's not hard if you really like to showcase something that you want to enjoy doing for the rest of your life. I think just that feeling will always go the extra mile for every all-nighter, for everything, and for making you want to be more vocal about what you want to do. Also I want to show the Halloween stuff. Halloween stuff. Look at that. Kind of crazy. Some Halloween stuff. That guy has a bed strapped and a table, some sort of desk, in the back of his truck. Which is like, wow, that's great. Anyhow, but yeah, whatever you want to do, go do it. And find the resources, find the people that, even if you don't know if they're willing to do it, that you should just speak up about it. That's like literally it. But besides the point, with also the reality during like the media stuff is this. As jarring as it might seem when it comes to finding a portfolio worthy thing. If you can't research a specific thing that you want to make, whether specifically it's style, that means you're more likely than not going to land a job with that type of style or that look that you are showcasing. So it's essentially saying that your originality is not what your focus should be. And I believe store closing, sale events happening now, Fred Meyer, no! Dude, I remember everything. No, just like Fred Meyer, sale closing. There's a banner, so man, I wonder what that's gonna be. It's gonna become a Spirit Halloween. No! Our stores are gonna be Spirit Halloweens. It's October. Is that why? No. Anyhow, I digress. The biggest thing that you need to know, trying to recall what I got distracted by the sale. Is that with what you do, that originality should be the most takeaway. Here's why I half-heartedly agree on it. There we go, boom, we're back. I half-heartedly agree if you're starting out to make a portfolio. Because, weirdly enough, I will say my piece of social media, the best way to get traction on social media, and it's the sad part, is that you have to curate it towards a current fan base that you have, or you're part of. When you, let's say you want to draw art, right? I did a lot of art challenges, and with those art challenges, I wanted to mimic the similar style, draw people's characters, draw people's worlds. The biggest ones that I've gotten based off of just like photo likes is the backrooms. When the backroom was really big, King Pixels liked my photo. That was great. He reposted it on his account and it got a lot of likes, and that made me feel good. And the second one is the Knights of Guinevere card thing, and that gained a lot of traction from repost. And did it get reposted? No, the creator liked it, and that was cool. And a lot of people commented on it as well. And that's the biggest thing that you have to initially start with. I think the originality aspect of it comes along the lines of it is appeasing. It's appealing. It's appealing to like a recruiter in 3 seconds. Like, whoa, this is cool. And how do you get to that point? Well, you have to drive that with like your passion, whatever you're passionate about, whatever passion is stylistically you're about. You just have to showcase that and have like the final version of that. You cannot really have a work in progress unless if it is in a real format showing like in work progress, then you're good. But if you like unfinished work, is never gonna really work well unless it's like a sketchbook of some sort, you know, then you are there. But if you have a mingled of like other assortments of like in work in progress stuff, have that in a separate folder. But otherwise, a portfolio initially, if you're starting out to make a portfolio, has to be curated specifically to what you aim to do. And I think for tech art, even for me, when I mentioned like the Gambit cards, I could easily say I'm going for Marvel Rivals. And let's say honestly, right? The idea that I have not played Marvel Rivals, or Marvel Rivals came in later in the year, see, that's why I don't know. Like I made the Gambit cards because I like Gambit and his cards. And we had to do a rich body dynamic thing with like fire stuff, pyro. So I'm like, oh yeah, do that. I have original ideas that I could do, but I don't do them. because they wouldn't fit the time and month to really do them during that time. And then with the Scissor 7 thing, I was just very passionate about that, and there was not a lot showcasing it, but there was the film, the Netflix series, not the film, the TV series, the animated TV series. So I'm like, that would be cool to make. I think a lot of the weapons would be really cool to make and model. It would be awesome. But essentially, with that layout in mind, I think I would just be a technical VFX artist that likes to model things that would create effects and move, which I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't like lighting. Lighting on the side is like my out of my T-hat. But that's why I half-heartedly believe it. I don't fully believe it because, yeah, the idea of social media, you can make whatever and you will grow a following from that. Is how a lot of people start, like on YouTube, when that was a thing, when there's now like creator summits, creator groups in which, you can just build up people's inspirations, how they do things, so on and so forth. Okay, I'm gonna end this video just so space. But continuing on the idea of why I don't have a company that I want to specifically target. There's so many things that you can put into one basket. For example, in my life when I transferred into becoming an artist, did I have anxiety after community college of where I wanted to go? Yes. Was there a time that weirdly circumstantially I had a teacher who knew another student that I had taken with the same class at that point and offered like, hey, you should go to this college? Yes. Circumstantially, that's just how it worked. And did I only apply to that one college and tried my best effort to transfer into it? Because I'm a transfer student. Yes. Did I get in? Yes. Did I have a portfolio during the time that I could submit to the stuff? No. Did I have to make one during that time? Yes. Was it good? No. Did I get in still? Yes. Not saying that DigiPen has low standards. I think it was also environmentally situated where, like, depending on, like, DigiPen's, like, ad revenue, or not ad revenue. I'm not talking bad about DigiPen. It's more or less, like, COVID. It was during COVID. And I remember also the times, like, you don't have to show your SAT scores. I personally never tried a lot on the SAT. I'm like, it's a test. It's okay. I didn't do good. Yeah. And weirdly enough, a little bit of part of me is like, wow, I'm glad COVID happened. Then they dropped some grading stuff for like colleges and whatnot, and like accountability on stuff, which was great. So that way, I got in. That was awesome. But I think when it comes to being an artist specifically, and when you target something, I think there is an internal rush, for me at least, that I'm like, I'm scared if I go all in on one thing, I'm not gonna get the thing. Sure, you can have feedback over time from other things, from other people. But I think it's one of those innate things where you're gonna be like, you're never really gonna be good enough to do something with your life. Or feel like that your portfolio is not working because you're not talking to enough people, and so on and so forth. And for the recruiters out there who have their jobs in order to do like a checklist off of like whatever they're doing, and they don't see yours out of like a million other people, because they're also busy. And it's like one of those things where you're like, okay, if someone is very busy and looked at your work, what is their first reactions to it? Which I think that's a really good practice sometimes. I remember like Danny said that when it came to like modeling stuff, he would go to a bar and he would show it to someone, and specifically it was the Dwayne The Rock model one, and he's like, who is this person to you? And if they didn't say Dwayne The Rock Johnson, then he's doing something bad. But if they did say Dwayne The Rock Johnson, then it was good. But overall, I think you're always going to have critique in your life. And whether or not if it's bad or good or very neutral or passive or impassive, you have to balance your circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm. Now you gotta balance your emotional state each time, even if you're not a very emotional person. I think with logical people that I've worked with, it boggles down to a frustration in thinking properly. And I think that's like that side of the coin, of the same coin, where it's like there are emotional people and there is the logical people in the world, where the emotional people can take something so to heart that it's like, okay, I'll never do it ever again, to the logical people who are like, oh my gosh, okay, I want to keep working on this one thing and lose sight of the future stuff that are happening right now. Like, if I had to call out someone, I'm not gonna call out someone, but like someone like on my team, no, I'm kidding. When they were doing the review thing, because there's like a milestone thing, they were all like, hey, can you check something real quick? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And it was like a production question, I think. It's like, I assess all the production needs and been aware of stuff. And this person, I believe, is very logical in how they talk and how they articulate things. And they're like, honestly, I have not paid attention. I was just given things and then did the things. And I'm like, okay, you can say that. But I think he was saying like, my awareness of production stuff that was handed to me, it was always present. And I think he was gonna rank it low, which is fine. But it's one of those things to just like reflect on it and like, if you want to do better at it, do better at it. But I'm still gonna work my job and give you everything. Notably, I'm top tier. I'm awesome. Anyhow, ego aside, that's why he went up to me, or she went up to me, or it went up to me, or they went up to me. Like, what? But those are those funny moments in life where you're like, okay, you just have to be more aware of those types of things when you are working with people and when you want to curate your stuff online, whether if it's like towards you or not towards you. I think the aspect of not being chronically aligned is a very interesting thing to me now, or the shift in this month. I feel more proactive in being like, I want to do my assignments, which is not to say I've not done my assignments. No. I think it's one of those things where I said before, environmentally, it's gonna be the factor in which I'm gonna be a Debbie Downer on myself a lot of the time. And I can't control the weather, right? I feel like in Redmond around this time of the month, it's always gloomy and sad and depressing. And I think it's just because of the weather. You know, it just rains and you're like, wow, it's cold. And side tangently, I'm just thinking right now, like, man, you know, like the dating sphere of just like University of Washington, it seems like it's like, you know, people are just like busy working. You know, there's not people dating or going out. You know, it's all work. And it's like, wow. I watched a video on that or something. Not today, but just like a while back. And I'm like, that's crazy, man. And it's like raining out. It's very cold. But no, it makes nonsensical sense about that idea. But to put it into more things is that to end off the question of why I don't have a specific company I want to work for, it's not because if I did search on the thing and I looked under technical or VFX or lighting that it won't show up on the thing. I think is that more often than not, when I opened up the opportunities to myself, to things, not just saying yes, like that idea, but just being like, this is what I want to do, I'll go down this track and keep an open mind about it. It always works 100% of the time. I think it's just my spirit and my innate ability to be like, I am easy to work with is the best thing. I think if I had to be more honest with myself, the lacking thing that I always find myself falling underneath is the ability to show up accountable when it comes to final product on something. I feel like when you have like that feeling of crunch culture, even with like projects, it's that weird anxiety that you're like, did I do enough? Did I do this? Is this good? Even if you get a grade, it's like almost like just that droning sense of like imposter syndrome. And then sometimes like even with like submissions, like I didn't hit my deadline. This sucks. And then I get emotionally inclined to be like, I'm never gonna be good enough. These are the things that just happen innately in my life, in my head. But that's a normal thing. I've experienced that even when I was younger. When I'm just doing assignments, I'm like, this paper I'm writing is never gonna be good enough, but I write it anyways, and it was like really good. It's like, wow. But what happens if there was a world where that never existed? Negative feedback. I don't know. That would be a dream world, I guess. That would be a dream world. But yeah, that would be my answer. I'm just like more free going, and I don't really expect a company to say yes or no to me. If I drop all expectations and just focus on the type of career I want to pay for myself, then I'm more happier than doing that than thinking about the company or its benefits and what it's doing. Nor am I like opposed to being like, oh, this is a weird company. Roblox be kind of a weird company. EA at some point kind of be a weird company in the state of being it is. See, but I will work for them. That's cool. If it means a job and money. And that's a realistic mindset. But for me, I'm sort of in the appeal of like, oh, if I like what their work is, it's great. It's the idea of like separating the artist from the music. You love the music, but it's a controversial artist. The biggest controversial artist right now seems to be, what's his name? I don't care how long it takes, as long as I'm with you, I got a smile on my face. One soul, one like again, can't ignore, I don't wanna do it no more. Ooh, I just want to win, type of feeling. That guy, I forgot his name. I'm just like, oh, I'm forgetting everyone's name. But essentially, he's controversial, I think, not during this month, but like a few months ago, because it was reported that this is explicit stuff. I'm sorry. Of the idea that, I'm just noting that there, of the idea that there was a car incident. You can look up it later, but there was just a car incident and it was under his car's name, the name of his car, and then people speculate like, oh, he made a song about this and he wasn't unforgiving about it, and just like a relationship thing. It was very chaotic, so I was like, ooh, terrible. But the music is very good, you know, it's great. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I understand that undertone. And I feel like that's what like life has with a lot of things, and whether or not you become a likable person or an unlikable person is very much a character development thing that I think everyone just go through, even if they don't show it on social media or not. I think not everyone is pure of heart in their lifetime. I think they only gain pure of heart if they have not been exposed to the tragedies. So it's like that comment section of like, protect them at all costs, protect them at all costs. They've not been affected by the industry or whatnot. But yeah. Look at that traffic. It's insane during this time. But that's why I'm also like, it's a Friday. I know there's gonna be traffic. And good thing I got my Panera, so while I wait in traffic, I can eat my food. Yay! Look at all that. Amazing. But yeah, I know I can rant in this car for a while, but I also know that if I do that, then the video is going to be longer. So I want to make this video short, even if it hits an hour. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna make a video shorter. Like, I'm gonna edit the videos today, so it's great, and also descriptions and finish any assignments that I need to work on. But overall, there's a lot of things that will always feel uncertain in your life. I know Alice and me talked about it. I think I'm just trying to slip this in. Me and Alice talked about just the idea of marketing yourself, right? And I think she said something along the lines of, I know I'm not gonna please everyone for how much I talk or clarity wise, because we do like a port thing. There is like purpose, originality, technique, and readability. And she's the type of person, and I've said this before, it's fine. She's the type of person that likes to rant a lot. So it's sort of the appeal of, she would say, if people don't like me because I just rant a lot, that's okay. And I'll just lose those people and gain other people. I'm like, that's good. And especially with, she didn't say the rest of this after this. This is just my thoughts now. It's a very interesting thing when it comes to YouTube, right? I'm not curating it for, I think I've said this before, but I'm just gonna keep saying it because it just helps reinform myself, is the idea that you're not curating it to like your family members, like your lifestyle, nor are you curating it to people whom you think is gonna use information against you. But those are like the overarching doom impending things that it feels like when it comes to YouTube, you're like, oh no, you become like a social influencer of some sort and whatnot and so forth. Ooh, scary, scary. Make sure you do all these things, but also be like, ooh, scary, scary. And then I'm on the mindset of like, I'm emotional that way. So I'm gonna be like, okay, I won't do it. And I haven't done it in a while. Just doing YouTube at some spanner points. I've posted during my community college days of like, I did a personal thing of Rebecca Sugar's song, Like You, or something, but it's like, I made you some content. Love like you. I was on I made that, and I made my Walk Cycle Model Paraquin, and I did like work in progress, but then I stopped because I'm like, sure, it was the pressure of other sorts, but it was like, be careful what you post, even with art. And you're like, what? I'm just making art. So I think that's why when someone talks to me about their own personal life and what they're gonna go for, I'm always going to be the person that's like, if it's not harming anyone else in a negative light, then I'm gonna be always rooting for you. I'm gonna be the one that's like, hey, don't self-doubt yourself. I'm like a physical embodiment of like, you can do this. I know you can do this. I've seen you can do this. Pop off, King. Do that. And I'm being genuine about that. And sometimes in some way, if I do it too much, then I lose track of my own self. And I'm like, oh, what road do I want to go on? I don't know. And I think that's why most cases, like, that's why I feel so open-ended with my own self. But not in a bad way. In a way, just I'm like, I don't have a target company because I've just been working on things and I haven't really specifically know what I want to target. So when I get my first job, whether I like it or not, in the industry, I know I want to get to know the people behind their career, and I should prioritize the idea of not stealing their jobs, right? Or feeling like, man, this is the worst company ever. I want to be like, I want to get to know you as an individual, and I want to get to know how or why you do the type of career that you want to do and root for you on that appeal. There's this thing that I watch with It was a short,
Jackman has a
and it was
tradition on
with
set
Hugh
called
Jackman,
Scratchy
and
Fridays,
why he
buys scratch tickets
uses
for the entire cast and crew. Here he is explaining why he started
raffle
this tradition.
coupon tickets on set, or scratch tickets on set. And he said there's so much available time to get to know people and individuals during the downtime. And it was during the time when there was not a lot of trailers back then, I guess, or like trailer sets. Or he was on a movie with no trailer sets. And he was like, I wanted to get to know a lot of the crew. So I would buy these scratch tickets. So everyone can like share some form of common interest or tradition with me whenever I'm on a film set and just talk about it. Because the awkward thing about starting any conversation is how would you start it? Not knowing the person's interests or appeal. So just sharing some form of common knowledge outside of that everyone knows is like a good thing. And I think just with that takeaway and that feeling, you're like, okay, that makes sense why marketing or recruiters, or if you want to get someone interested in whatever you're doing, you have to get them up front with something that they are familiar with. And how do you understand who's familiar with what? By trial and error, and also knowing people's fan base and how they interact with the fan base, and also their personal interests to IP, whether if it's film and games, and show that first, then introduce who you are and why you are associating yourself with this IP, with this fandom, or having it as a medium just to say, hey, look at this iced chai latte. This is not my formula. I'm trying to formulate things. I'm just like, I love this chai latte. It's really good. And I'm just like, I just like that because honestly, I personally have not eaten a lot. Like, for most of the time in the first half of like DigiPen. It was a lot of just like minimum grocery shopping, because then I would have to focus more on like the painting and art, which is not on DigiPen's idea. It's more or less just like I like to push myself in a way, or initially when it came to just like the coursework, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get A's, and I did get A's. But at the same time, it was like replacement of like, okay, I'm gonna eat a pizza box. You're like, unhealthy foods is what I mean. It's not that I've not eaten, like I'm depressing myself not eating. It is like, or being I'm just a general frugal person as well. So with that mindset of like, I want to work hard on something and be very frugal about whatever I want to use, especially like buying paints and whatnot, because that was expensive. It is just like, ooh, let's get to it. But now, since I'm just like sharing stuff, I'm like, I got this chai tea latte, I got this Panera thing. Sure, it's some form of flex of like how I get my things, but it's also like I really just enjoy Panera now. I've never enjoyed Panera for a while, and now I'm just getting into the idea of like, this was a really good sandwich. This is a really good thing, and just appreciating food, because I think the natural human things that you need in life is food, is sleep. I think food with like water, so like food and like liquids, sleep, and I think in some capacity the outside world. You know, hygiene is like fifth, but I think the imperative thing is sleep, eating, and I think learning. I think learning would be the third thing, or being just involved in the world in which you were learning to be accustomed to things. And then hygiene would be fourth or something. And then exercise would be like fifth. But I think the mental capacity over your lifetime is the most crucial part of living as a human. That makes you decide, I don't know why I'm being so instrumental about it, but you know, it's just one of those things where you're like, decide what you want to do in your life. That's always going to be a question people are going to ask you, and then if you don't have an answer, it feels like the end of the world from other people's perspectives. Which to me, it's not like I'm aimlessly going anywhere. I'm doing what I want to do, like doing tech art and like trying to get portfolio. But I don't want to have, for example, let's say, being a Disney adult.
Disney adults.
I watched the Smosh video.
Okay,
Okay, I'm
walk
sorry
the
about the
tight
last
line
every time,
with the
like, I say something, like, I just
First range card is relaxing, stressful. Okay.
But when I was watching a Smosh video, I think, I don't remember which Smosh video, so I can't really like, put it up there, but if I find it,
This is an
it'll be up there.
one.
But essentially, they were talking about the idea of,
There's something happening in my brain.
I think it was Chance, I think it was like a Smosh Games
No.
where it was like,
No, but I'm doing some mental gymnastics here to get to my circle.
wait, no, okay, I'm slowly
I have
remembering
my
it. This is for me now.
Okay, I have my
It
vibe.
was
I caught it.
a,
Guess away.
not like a Hues and Cues, but it was like the chart thing where on the left it would be like popular, and then on the bottom it was
No,
like
that's not stressful at all. Because they're just like,
But that's being at Disney. That's being
franchise. Like, is it less franchise, more franchise, popular, unpopular?
It does stress me out a little bit.
And I think it was during
so
the,
much
yeah, it was one of the
so
days.
much going
So it's
on.
not too far off.
And I have to scroll. Or like if you're at Universal
But essentially,
Studios, the Disney adult.
they were talking
Oh, God,
about,
it's
I think,
not-
Disney adults. And Chance was like, I can tolerate, I don't think it was Chance, but I remember Chance, Arasha, Olivia,
Animal
and
Kingdom, this is what you're gonna do, and it's like I don't want to think about having 4 hours.
his
of
name is
Animal
not
Kingdom.
But then like when the
What?
Disney adults are with you and they're like, yeah, we can go pee in the Pizza Planet. You're like,
Trevor,
oh my God, there's a bathroom.
Cooper, Trevor.
There's so much happening
Okay.
here.
Well, I think
They were like,
we should be in
you
the
know,
stressful
Disney
range.
adults, it's not like I can tolerate Disney adults, but it's about the impact after Disney that makes you a Disney adult. That irks me. Not irks me, but not me specifically, but like in the video, something along those lines. That one of them said that. And it's like, it's what I bring home after Disney. It's how I represent myself after the fact that I go to Disney. Like, Disney is a cool place. Yeah, I think it was this. And I didn't know Disney had this, where it's like you can have like little pets on your shoulder, and that's a thing you can do. There are also those types of people where they have like a lot of figurines of like models or like Star Wars or Lego sets. Like, I have a friend who has a lot of Lego sets in their basement and they just have it all on their wall, and I'm like, that's cool. I think I also had a phase of that with like Lego stuff and some form of figurines, but I keep them very minimal, even with my snow globe collections, since I don't travel a lot around states now. Like, it's just a cool nifty knick-knack collection that's tactileable and like physical. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. But overall, what I'm gonna do now is put on a podcast and finish the segments podcast, because I think they finished their last episode and I didn't listen to it. So I might give my thoughts about it after, because I might be emotional about it. I don't know. I'll probably record it when I am at an emotional peak. I'm like, wow, this is the final one. How do I feel about this?
Taking into Jews that you can't forget. In 2010, they were big on the internet. And all things considered, their success is more than fair. Now here's one more effort for only positive motivations, they swear.
Segments.
Another podcast.
Segments.
Each half different from the last.
Segments.
It's the Swiss Army knife of shows. Each are two emphatic hosts.
Guessing, because it can't be, you can't try to figure out.
Drunk off my ass. I'm wasted.
Okay, because it's 4:21, so I didn't know if you were actually hammered yet.
I'm plastered. So I'm gone. I'm faded. I am obliterated.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Do you see my eyes?
Yeah.
Nobody's home. Okay. I'm not here.
I was gonna say the poems weren't that good, but they were really affecting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was weeping.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
82.
3, 2, 1.
12.
3, 2, 1.
36.
3, 2, 1.
42.
3, 2, 1.
3.
Like, if you hate this, what a terrible way to end. Like, it's just on and on, the monotonous sort of nothingness.
Yeah.
And it's like, you start getting resentful. Like, why am I even still listening?
Yeah. Like, well, I gave them years and years of my life.
This is almost a spit in the face to repay me with nothing like that.
You know, in a way it is. In a way it is. I would have to, I mean, I almost agree with it, except for the fact that our ethos, who we are, who we have always been, has been, we make each other laugh.
And this is the way to do it.
And hope our audience laughs as well.
Right.
So
we can't then.
I can't turn
our back on that.
No, and I can't argue with somebody who doesn't think this is great and say, no, this is really good. Because I don't necessarily think it is. But there's something about it that tickles me. And we laugh when we do it. So it's true to our core value, which is I try to make Amir laugh. That's what I do. I try to make you laugh. I try to entertain this duo right here.
What's weird is that this game doesn't do that.
No,
we're not cracking up.
Well, we're feeling something.
Right.
There's a connection. There's a spark.
There's a connection. We're intrigued.
We want to finish this.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
17.
3.
Yeah. I was gonna say we have a common desire.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether or not it's entertaining is sort of almost moot at this point.
3, 2, 1.
82.